Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In today's video, I want to share my top 5 fragrances from Voluspa from 2024. This video it's kind of late in the month, I realized, to be sharing a best of 2024. But I had some issues with some of the videos that I filmed towards the beginning of the month to put up as a part of my best of 2024 series. For some reason, the Voluspa video, as well as another video that I did on just some like one-off candles that I tried from some brands where, you know, I haven't tried a whole lot from them. I did a video regarding those 5 favorites as well. And for whatever reason, the Voluspa video and that random 5 favorites video, the audio was messed up. I'm at this point willing to let that random favorites go. I don't want to refilm that, but I still want to share my favorites from Voluspa from this past year, because this is a candle brand that I really dug into pretty heavily in 2024. It was on my list to try some more of their fragrances, and I fell in love with so many things from this particular brand last year. It's, like I said, been on my list for a while to kind of take a deeper journey into Voluspa, but the thing that kind of stopped me in previous years in terms of just going ham with them is that they're quite expensive, right? Listen, I think that Voluspa is definitely in that kind of listen, they're a luxury price point. I was gonna say like the beginning of luxury price point, but if you are going for their larger formats, either their luxe or their hearth-sized candles, those are expensive, right? Most people are not going to just on a random Tuesday spend $250 on a Voluspa hearth candle without really thinking that purchase through, right? For the vast majority of us, that's a good chunk of change. And you really want to make sure that if you're going to be spending that kind of money, that you really like what you're getting. And for me, there are definitely a number of fragrances that are hearth-sized worthy, if you will, at this point. In fact, towards the end of this past year, 2024, I did purchase 2 hearth-sized candles from Voluspa, and then in 2023 I actually picked up one of their holiday fragrances in the hearth size as well. And for the last couple of holidays now, I have been working my way through this one hearth-sized Christmas candle from Voluspa. They burn forever. If you are not familiar with Voluspa, they are a US brand. They're actually based out of California. I believe it's Southern California somewhere. Their candles are hand poured. They have a couple different types of formats. They, you know, offer things like reed diffusers. They offer their candles in various sizes and types of containers, if you will. This, for example, is one of their 3-wick tins. So this is a tin format. They also offer really beautiful glass jars as well. Now, when it comes to the most aesthetically pleasing products from Voluspa, I think that any of their glass vessels, either in their little like macaron sizes or in the like 3-wick luxe size, or their big Mama Jama hearth candles, the vessels are just absolutely stunning. These are the types of vessels that I think most people would have a hard time recycling or putting in the garbage when they're finished. Like, these are the types of vessels that you're like, I gotta figure out something to do with this, right? Like, I cannot throw away this beautiful piece of glass. So I love that they have just a good variety of containers. I will admit that their fragrance selection isn't enormous. I think they have a good amount to choose from, and they usually come out with like a couple new scents a year. But they're not like Bath & Body Works. They're not like Homeworks. They're not like Kringle in that, you know, we see new things from them, like new entire collections every single season. Like, Voluspa is not that type of candle company. I think they mostly try to focus on their core fragrances. This is a brand that you can also purchase not only directly from the company, they certainly have their own website, which is actually where I have ordered most of my candles from. But you can also find them at retailers, like high-end retailers like Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom's. I believe Saks also carries Voluspa. So you don't necessarily have to purchase directly from the company. And honestly, quite frankly, I think sometimes you can get a better deal buying the Voluspa candles from places, you know, like Bloomingdale's, which happens to have some really great sales on the Voluspa candles, especially around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Also at the end of the year, you know, there's usually some kind of clearance sale, and there are some great deals to be had. So gorgeous vessels. They use a coconut wax. Now, coconut, I don't think is necessarily one of the most prevalently used waxes out there. I feel like a lot of companies are turning towards soy or soy blends. There are still companies that are cranking out paraffin candles as well, but I am starting to see a few others coming on board with coconut wax. Nest does not share what their wax is, but I know in like a long time ago they used to, and I believe it was a coconut wax blend as well for Nest. So I can kind of, I suspect they still use some kind of coconut wax blend because they have the same soft type of, you know, finish that these Voluspa candles do. Apricot wax is also a nice formulation, but these guys use they call it cocoa wax, I believe is what they call it. Yes, hand poured cocoa wax candles. So this one here is actually Laguna, which you will have just seen a review of a little bit earlier on today. This was one of the candles that I picked up last year, but never got around to burning until, you know, January rolled around. So if you missed this review, check it out. So this is not one of the fragrances that is on my list for 2024, but it is really lovely. If you like a beachy, tropical floral, check out Laguna. She's gonna be your girl. But let us go ahead and dig into these favorites from 2024 from Voluspa. Obviously a brand that I will be continuing to purchase from in 2025 as well. I'm kind of excited about their Mediterranean lemon. Let me know if any of you guys are interested in that one. I was thinking about picking that up, probably in the 3-wick tin. If you are just getting started with Voluspa and you kind of just want to try a few scents from them, on their website they do have a like build your own like small bundle situation where you can just try a few of the different scents. Or if you know, based on the fragrance notes, that you are probably gonna like the smell of something, I would highly suggest going with these 3-wick tins. These have obviously a bigger surface area. You're gonna get a deeper or like wider wax pool here, if you will. And it's gonna give you a lot more fragrance output than just one of their, you know, like 1-wick tins or one of their like little macaron candles or something. But yeah, this is the format that I typically try the fragrances out with. A lot of what I reviewed last year were the fragrances in these specific 3-wick tins. So if you're looking to get started, I would say get started there. I want to say these 3-wick tins retail for $28. But like I said, you don't just have to purchase those from Voluspa. There's also some like smaller boutique candle companies that also carry Voluspa. I think Candle Delirium maybe does. So listen, you can Google it, right? We can all Google. But I'll have them linked in a few places down below. Okay, very first fragrance, and this is one that was a favorite in 2023 for me as well, and it continued on during the holiday season of 2024, Noble Fur Garland. Oh my gosh, you guys. I purchased this one for the very first time from Sephora in 2023 when they were having their, I think they were having their like fall savings event. And I picked up the 3-wick. So there was a 3-wick luxe size that Sephora was carrying at the time. I still have the container. It's still in this little table that's over in my entryway over here. I didn't have the heart to throw it away because it's such a beautiful glass container. But after the initial burn of that 3-wick, I went ahead and purchased the big hearth candle. If you saw my weekly home fragrance roundup anywhere around like November, December, you will have seen this candle. The 5-wick hearth candles are huge. They're also like, I think $250. Some of them are $225, but I know that I paid $250 for the Noble for garland. I believe because it was a more like custom special edition type of glass is what made it a little bit more expensive, but I am absolutely going to keep that container after I'm done with that candle. Still, after 2 years of like, you know, a solid 2 months of like holiday burning each of those years, I'm still only at the halfway point of that hearth candle. So I think I can probably have that one for holiday season 2025 and potentially even holiday season 2026. So it is a very straightforward, fresh but warm and cozy holiday tree fragrance. It is epically beautiful. Not anything terribly exotic, but just really well done for a holiday tree fragrance. I have fake trees in my house. I don't like the mess of a real tree. I don't like the bugs that come in with real trees. Also, I like to decorate for Christmas pretty early. I typically start at the beginning of November. So it does not make sense for me to have real trees in my house because by the time that December 1st came around, all the trees would be completely dried up. Like, I'm not purchasing multiple trees during one holiday season and then redecorating everything again. I'm going with the fake trees, right? But I miss the smell of real trees. That smells like a real tree. That fragrance is so well done, and it is a powerhouse in the hearth size. It was great in the 3-wick. I could have just kept buying the 3 wicks, but I really like the vessel. I love the fragrance. I knew that I would enjoy it for multiple years, and it was worth the splurge. That was so worth the splurge. The next one. Okay, here's the funny thing about this one. California Summers. I actually only experienced California Summers in a tiny, I am talking tiny little tin that they sent to me as a sample. Typically when you order from the Voluspa website, they will include a like new fragrance just in one of their little tins so that you can experience it. I love that sample so much that I didn't even bother with this. I just bought the 5-wick hearth. Yeah, it's upstairs in my closet. If you want to see it, sorry, I didn't feel like dragging it down here because 1, those candles are heavy, and 2, I'm always kind of afraid of dropping them and breaking them. And given that I paid $225 for that candle, yeah, I'm not going to unnecessarily carry it around my house. It is a beautiful, beachy, like fresh, ocean salty air, coconutty, with a touch of sandalwood goodness. Like it's going to be the ultimate summer candle for me this year. I'm telling you, that tiny little tin had such an impact on me that I just bypassed all of the other sizes and went to the Big Mama Jama. That is how good this fragrance is. Again, with all of these, I will have the actual, like the full notes going across the screen here. But that California Summers, if you are looking for a beautiful, beachy, salty, sandalwoody, coconutty kind of vibe for summer 2025, you have to try it out. It is epic. It is delicious. It's, well, I wouldn't say delicious. It's not an edible smell, but I just think it's a really beautiful scent, right? I'm not even a summertime girly. I always, listen, if you are new to my channel, prepare yourself. Once May and June roll around, I am just complaining about the heat all the time. I just don't like hot weather. I am 46. I have hot flashes even during the winter, and it's even worse during the summer. It's even hotter then. So I don't need sticky hot weather. It's gross to me. But the smells of summer, I love the smells of summer. And that one is one of my new favorite types of fragrances to enjoy over the summer. It used to be that I would normally just go for either coconut scents or other like tropical fruity scents, but I'm branching out a little bit to some of these other types of summer fragrances, and that one is just too good to be, too good to basically pass up. Somewhat similar family for the Laguna here, but this definitely has some tropical floral notes, but that same kind of beachy, ocean salty air is present in the Laguna and the California Summers. And if that's your thing, You have to check it out. It's so good. All right, another fruity, summery fragrance that I fell in love with last year is their coconut papaya. Truly edible coconut, truly edible papaya. Absolutely delicious. I really liked the 3-wick tin on this particular one because I think it was like, was it a hexagon shape? I can't remember exactly. It had a slightly different shape than the round tins, but same, like a 3-wick format, basically larger. So fell in love with that fragrance. Really yummy, delicious, edible coconut. Really yummy, juicy, like fresh papaya. So well done, super enjoyable. That was even a fragrance where my daughter was like, can you get that in wax melts? You cannot, which I think is kind of crazy that Voluspa does not offer wax melts, but I would also hate to see what they would probably charge for a clamshell of wax. Probably not something that I would like invest in a whole lot, but I'm also not comfortable at this point letting my daughter burn candles in her room. She's almost 13, but she's a little squirrel brain, so I don't want her burning my house down. Maybe when she gets a little older, I will purchase her a coconut papaya that she can enjoy, you know, in her personal space, but sorry, not at 13 years old. But anyway, Stella loves that one. And if you like those fruity tropical scents, gotta check that one out. Speaking of another gorgeous summertime scent, these next couple are also kind of summery fruity scents. Kalahari watermelon. Ooh, in terms of watermelon, this one is really unique. There's a few different melon notes present. I feel like, was it cantaloupe? I think it was cantaloupe. So cantaloupe combined with a watermelon. But what was interesting about this particular watermelon is that it was sweet, but not overly sweet. I find a lot of watermelon scents are kind of hyper sweet in their presentation, and they can kind of almost get to be cloying in a way. That's not the case with this Kalahari watermelon. You get maybe a little bit more of that green rind note in the Kalahari watermelon, but amazing. Listen, watermelon doesn't always have to be like sugary sweet. I really like that little touch of green in this specific one, and I think it makes it more unique than some of the other watermelon scents that are out there. Highly, highly recommend checking that one out this summer. It is one where I actually almost added the hearth size of the Kalahari watermelon when I bought the California Summers and the Tahitian coconut vanilla. I bought that one in the hearth size as well. But yeah, like the only thing that stopped me is that I just thought it was unreasonable to spend money on like 3 hearth-sized candles in one purchase. Will I still probably get the luxe, like larger 3-wick size this summer? Oh yeah, absolutely, hands down I will. So good. I love it. I love it so much. And it pairs well with a lot of my other, you know, candles that I typically burn from Kringle or Bath & Body Works or Homeworks that kind of are in the same fruity like category. I feel like adding in that slightly less sweet Kalahari watermelon just adds a little balance to a lot of the other like sometimes overly sweet summer fruity scents. Now, the last one I'm gonna mention is the Italian Bellini. First off, I love a good Bellini. If you're not familiar, a Bellini is basically Prosecco with a little bit of like a fresh peach puree added to it. It's a really refreshing summertime drink. I love making Bellinis over the summer. And this particular fragrance from Voluspa smelled so much like the Bellinis that I make in July and August. You really get that fresh, juicy, ripe summer peach combined with that effervescent, bubbly Prosecco note. It is so well done, you guys. And if you are looking for a really, again, fun, sweet, slightly boozy, not overly boozy, but slightly boozy summertime fragrance, Italian Bellini she's gonna be your girl. Absolutely worth checking out. I will repurchase Italian Bellini this summer for sure. Any of the fragrances that I mentioned, I will be repurchasing from Voluspa in the future. There's so much that I still want to try from the brand, so you'll definitely be seeing some more reviews from Voluspa this year. Like I said, let me know if you're interested in that Mediterranean lemon. Baltic Amber is another one I want to check out. Temple Moss, Sparkling Cuvée. There's a lot, and yeah, I cannot wait to share more from this brand with you. I think that if you are thinking about, you know, kind of branching out and splurging with a higher end brand, this is a really kind of good, safe place to start. The quality has been there. Their wicks are really solid. I don't get any discoloration or sooting from this coconut wax. Like, look how clean this candle has burned. And I have left this one lit so long that it has completely pulled out to the bottom several times now. Like, I can see the wick clips at the bottom. And still, I have the cleanest, whitest coconut wax. Despite having let this go for like 6 hours at a time. I wouldn't dare do that with a Bath & Body Works. I wouldn't even do that with a Homeworks candle. And I love Homeworks, but I also know that you can't really burn them, you know, super, super long. With this, I can burn this as long as I burn a lot of my soy candles, and there never really seems to be much of an issue. So anyway, Voluspa is a brand that I have come to really love, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. I know they're not going to be in everybody's price point, but if you are able to splurge and you have an interest, I would say go for it. I think you're really going to enjoy them. So if you have any questions at all, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know if you have any recommendations for me from Voluspa or anything that you would like to see me review. Like I said, I am willing to purchase more from them this year and continue to share my thoughts with you guys. So let me know in the comments down below. If you are new around here, definitely take the time to subscribe if you're interested in more of my home fragrance related content. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.